TV, live from East Philadelphia, which I know if we just keep doing this, is going to spread around the world. Lou's here, Fabian Brown, how are you?
Feeling great.
I switched things up today. We switched things up today, but I didn't tell you why I wanted to sit on this side. The simple reason is just in case I need to pull a spicy and disappear behind the bush.
Is that a real word, a spicy? What does that mean?
Sean Spicer. They caught Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, dodging the press by hiding behind a bush.
A
you don't know about this?
Tell me more. Tell me more.
So now people are taking cardboard cutouts of Sean Spicer and putting them in bushes around the world. Yeah. Because he's just hiding behind a... They found him hiding behind a bush.
Hashtag spicy?
Well, they call him Spicy on SNL. Yeah, Melissa McCarthy plays Sean Spicer. You know she's got a motorized podium now? She can drive it around New York? No. Yeah, it's cool. Just drives a little presidential podium around the city. We'll crank that down just a little bit. I think the last word we heard there was an important word, was ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
We haven't talked about this.
No.
We haven't talked about the fact that dear Colonel Bruce Hampton has left us to fend for ourselves here on this planet. And we did a show where we went down to Durham, North Carolina.
Yep.
And then came back from North Carolina. And we were supposed to go to Atlanta. And I feel like it just might be just bring it down just a little bit more, you know. Gotta get a little tape on that, you know, like a professional. What's on? Yeah, just a little spot like the DJs do. All right. So I was supposed to go to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Fox Theater for Hampton's 70. Hampton 70, they called it. Bruce Hampton's 70th birthday. The lineup was ridiculous. I think we did talk about that on the show before we left for Durham. You know, everybody was there. And they did at least a 4-hour show. Colonel Bruce came out for the last hour of the show, I think, did some songs, and then performed the first song he had ever performed live, Love Light. Sang the last verse and waved on Brandon Niederauer, a 14-year-old prodigy guitarist, to do his solo. And then as the Colonel would often do, he would go down and he'd either do this and praise the player, fan the flames kind of thing, or he'd lie on the ground acting like he was dead. And this time he was.
Wow.
It's been 10 or 11 days. I woke up the morning after that show. We came back, didn't see it. I had emailed Colonel Bruce the week before. Apologizing for not being able to get down there, and I certainly hope he read that email. But we'll come back and talk about it in a second, because ka-chow is mentioned in that song, and Colonel Bruce Hampton said to me that ka-chow was the most pure. Israel, is it Valdez? I can't remember his original name, but known as ka-chow. This is somebody that people should look up if you don't know. Really brought most of what we know as Afro-Cuban rhythms into music. And let's blast that. because of that spirit. It feels like that's there. But I was just writing about this track yesterday on the Eddie Palmieri exclusive Facebook page. You know, these are masters, and he just comes charging into that song, right, on the piano. And I think I was writing about Obed Calder, the drummer.
Yeah.
And how he just, let's go. You know, I'm right here, and these guys are going to charge this, and he just drops right in. So, beautiful track.
I haven't seen Eddie play live. Have you ever seen him play live? I've been seeing plenty of videos of him.
Haven't been yet.
Smash it.
No, I'm going to go up on, I was supposed to go up this Monday. Have time. But I think April 29th. So he's got a 16-week residency at Sabrosa in New York.
Got it.
And what he does is Eddie will perform with a special guest on one Monday. Then on the next Monday, it's what they call one of the young guns. You know, people that are involved with the Palmieri Presents, showcasing some of the best talent. Johnny Rivero played last week. I think we're talking about one in July, possible Ropeadope artist.
Nice.
And one of the Palmieri young guns or new talent.
Joe Locke there with him, I think, opening night, right? The first.
I'm not sure if that was the first one, but man.
Killed it.
Yeah. You know, we don't get a lot of marimba, but all of a sudden it's just in the news. The next track coming up, I think, is Adam Ben Ezra, who's going to play with a marimba playing robot at Georgia Tech, maybe? One of the schools. They have a robot with 4 arms that plays marimba. Like, and follows with the band. I don't know what level of improvisation happens there, but I'll tell you what, he does. He's got a round head about maybe yay big, and he blinks.
The robot.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a human face. It's just a steel ball with a window in it, which I assume are cameras. And then he blinks.
Play with a live hand.
Then when he gets in and he's playing like heavy, he drops down right to the keys, and he's just But he has an advantage. He has 4 arms. Come on. Right?
I guess. My favorite part, little Eddie.
Pause for a second to give a shout out to our sponsors. This show is sponsored by Repair Wizards. You can't see it on camera, but it's a picture of a wizard with a cell phone, a smartphone in his hand. And these guys came over while I was working, fixed my cell phone, handed it back to me in about 20 minutes. If you're in the East Philadelphia area, it's so Wayne's World right now. It's good. I love it. Repair Wizards. I'm not kidding. Serious. It's just funny that we would mention a sponsor on this show.
They fixed my phone.
But they fixed your phone too?
They fixed my phone.
Yeah, my phone's great. I broke 2 phones in 1 week.
That's not good.
Yeah, I mean the average is good. It's 2 in 5 years. So.
Oh, well.
It just happened 3 days apart from each other. So we're good. I think what's next is Adam Ben Ezra. So we're going to listen to that.
Oh, yes.
Adam Ben Ezra, we've talked about him, I think, once before on the show. He is from Israel, multi-instrumentalist who I mentioned he's going to play with a robot, and I was thinking about that, like how much of a leap that is, like to go out and play live with a robot next to you, right? Yeah, it's. But I heard somebody on NPR talking about artificial intelligence, and like his point was we're already interacting with machines. So like you pull out your map program like Waze or whatever, and it says turn right here, you know, and then and you don't.
Right.
You just keep going.
It's usually me.
And right, and it completely adjusts to you. And it doesn't get mad. It doesn't, you know, like what the fuck, bro? It's like, okay,
I said me right.
How about here? You know, like it knows it doesn't. It just it works with you. And so I applied that kind of thinking to what Adam Ben Ezra is already doing. Mark DeCladlo as well.
Yeah.
They have an array of what we call organic instrumentation. They have an array of electronics. And so they're interacting with the machine and directing the machines.
It's almost like a natural evolution.
So suddenly that doesn't seem like that great a step, like that great a leap to actually have a stand-up robot who's playing the instrument, rather than having a loop, which is what Adam Ben Ezra will play the bass. I don't even know how this works, but
I gotta say,
he somehow loops that, and then he goes over and plays the piano on top of that. There were some other people that do that. Studio audience?
Just ask Nick.
Just ask Nick.
The looping.
A lot of people do. That one guy.
That one guy. Yeah.
But no one, like, I just recently got hip to watching his live stuff on YouTube. Listen, first of all, I didn't think sounds can be created out of the acoustic bass the way he does it. It's really crazy, and it's amazing to watch him go. And the thought process, you know, one second he's a bass player, the next second he's a percussionist, and then he's ripping solos, but with the sound like a bunch of guitar skits.
He's building his own thing.
It's
Yeah, and
brilliant.
he's using the machine to assist him in building them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting to hear you say that he gets different sounds out of the bass. It kind of takes, and that one guy, they get sounds out of things that you normally look for. Right? You're like, oh, it sounds like this. Yeah. I'll play that as best I can, but they're looking for all kinds of new possibilities.
It's amazing for an individual to play all those. So right now, the bass is looping,
Right.
but he's very much a percussionist on that instrument too. It's beautiful.
I saw him in London. Yeah. You'd think he'd be running around like a nut, you know, it's just effortless.
Is that where you met him the first time in London? Or?
He's the only time with that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a very pleasant meeting. Language barrier a little bit.
Right.
But he's going to the States. Learn a little and go from there. You know, we talked about Colonel Bruce, and while we have this, for the people that are going to watch this show, just want to simply state that everything you know about how things work is probably off the mark. When you watch the movie, basically Frightened, you learn a little bit about Colonel Bruce, and you watch some of the things that he's done. And the number of people that have responded to his presence.
Everybody.
You can't. Everyone tries to explain it, but you can't fully explain it.
I'm still kind of.
But it's real.
In that documentary they talk about how when people meet him for the first time, he guesses your birthday. It's like spot on.
Well, it's spot on, but it's not. He's not always right, but he's right a lot of the time.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's good enough for many, but I guess the question is, where do we put that? You know, is he psychic? The next thing the brain tries to do is define what that is. You know, so where do we put that? He's a psychic guy. You know, and then you can get a little further out, and people will say, well, he must be an alien. You know, which he'd be like, yeah. You know? But it still doesn't make sense. But it makes all the sense in the world.
I love it.
So I think what Colonel Bruce did for me, and I think for a lot of people, is strip away logic and definition. And when you do that, all you're left with is like whatever that primal start is, whatever makes you you. That's all you're left with, without all the rationalizations and the definitions. You know, and I think I'm guessing that a lot of times he did that on purpose to disarm people and to put them in a space of I can't define this. You know, I mean, if you said to him, "Well, you didn't guess my birthday exactly." So, you know, that you're no good at that. He'd be like, "Well, yeah, you're right, I'm an imposter." And he'd get up and go have a donut, you know? And he'd be like, "What? I saw it happen. I saw somebody call him and say, that's a bunch of bullshit." He goes, "Of course it's bullshit." Then he went out and he got up and had a donut. You know, and the guy was sitting there, like, questioning himself.
Right.
Because he wasn't 100% sure it was bullshit, but he threw that out there. Because now that guy's questioning his rational self. As to whether he's right when we have all the facts, you know? So, and that's one piece of what he did. And the second piece is that when you're left with stripping away what you are, and you're down to who you are, and you feel like somebody is possibly knowing that, but also really just encouraging that, man, it just hits. You know, it's everything that we can't do. When you try to do as a parent, you try to do as a society, it's just you know? So,
You were close, right?
well, I think in that way. I mean, we hung out a bit, yeah. I mean, as far as working with artists go, I probably had more lunches and dinners with Colonel Bruce than just about anybody. Yeah, I felt exceptionally close to him, like so many people have said. So, well,
Who was that's playing?
I don't care. I'm talking about Colonel Bruce.
Don't matter.
Figure it out. Let's go back to that. We're gonna. You want some ice?
I do. Switch it up a little bit.
I'm gonna toast Colonel Bruce. I'll take some ice too. We got 10 minutes, so remind me to go back to that. To Bruce. Every day I go out to a baseball field now in the morning.
Really?
First thing, yeah. Bruce is a baseball player. Wanted to pitch for the Yankees, yeah. I got a picture somewhere. They like to play little toy guitars. So you know how like you go into somebody's house and they have the little spot for all the boots? Like a little rack, right? He has, no, like a mud rack or whatever. You come in with your shoes and your umbrellas. Yeah, let's do it. Right.
What's the move? Mama Earth is dying and crying because of you. Mama Earth is tossing and turning, and that's a sign. I barely got much time, and this is hard to climb. Everyone's
So mudroom.
He's got a rack of toy guitars where all the boots and umbrellas are supposed to be. Not toy guitars, but you know, like the small ones. They call them that, right? They call them toy guitars.
Squire.
Huh?
Squire guitars.
Yeah, if you look like he's a big man. I mean, he would just have this little tiny guitar. Because I think he did it because he just thought it was fun. Yeah, like it disarms you. Like, it's the opposite of that. John Mayer and I have a really fancy guitar, and here I am. You know, it's just like, you know, that kind of thing. So, Sidewalk Chalk, bringing it in. Thank you for reminding me that this show is supposed to be about music and not my personal loss.
It's good. It's good balance.
Why don't you carry it there? Tell us all about Sidewalk Chalk.
I'm just excited for their release coming out. Ooh, July.
No, this is a June.
June
6th.
June 6th?
Yeah, it's coming right up.
That's today.
No, 9th. 6th is a Tuesday. 9th, yeah.
I'm just excited. So for the first time today, I got to hear the album from top to bottom because this track has been spinning. And while you were out of the office, I'm like, bleh. And no, I'm excited. I'm really excited about what they bring to the table, and I think, well, who knows? I think it's going to be received really well. And they got a good blend. They got a good blend, good vibe, good sound. Chicago?
Hard-working band, yeah. Hard-working band. They're really on it. They're kind of like the business model of the now. Really work at it. Extremely professional. Don't take things for granted. They work hard. And they made a great record here. The record's called, I don't know if you probably might not have seen this. The record's called An Orchid. And we did a crowdfunding campaign for this. And there's an actual brooch that it's like an orchid brooch. It's USB.
That's great, man. That's great.
The album, it's a... You
said that they're very hard-working band, so tell me a little bit about that. What is it that you're doing that all the other artists may not do as separate?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm working on. They're all working tougher things than most folks but a lot of gigs, they're tour days. There's no nights off. And honestly, I've never really had a casual conversation. Hey, Charlie. This is what we're doing. This is, yeah. Not in a bad way. They're friendly. That's what it's not. But it's, we have purpose. We have a mission. And I gotta say, Snarky Puppy was very similar. That way, it was just like let's get down to business. Get this done. Before that, we heard a track from Leyeux, Jack Snyder. Oops, just say Leyeux.
Tell how you say it.
A new release coming out on Modern Icon Recordings, headed by Adrian Harpham.
Nice.
We know from Light Blue Movers.
He's great.
And I just keep running that thing
Sonic Motivation.
back around. Are we Sonic Motivation? That was. And man, this is I'd love to do this at the end of every show. Go back and play loud one track from the band. And the intro to this song is about him being in Johannesburg when Nelson Mandela passed away. And he witnessed the joy of that celebration of his life, and wrote this song. Wow. It's called Ropeadope.
Really got to see his stuff when he played live at Cool Fest.
You know what? I've got a Sean Martin hangover every night now. I'm like, you know, I go out and I think I'm having fun, and I'm like, I'm not having as much fun as if I was at a Sean
How about that girl that tried to stop? She tried to stop the music,
and she couldn't help but dance. Yeah,
no,
the place is just yeah. I mean, that's fun. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos that are coming out from the other shows.
Great.
Oh my God, the same vibe every night. People dancing, people shouting, people are singing along. You know. He's got a great sense of humor and a lot of talent, and he likes to have fun. They've got this party happening in Dallas on the 28th, I think. I might go down for that. What do we got coming up that we can talk about?
In the pipeline, the first thing that popped in my head when you said that was Mr. Matt Cabby.
We just got those masters
oh
today.
My goodness.
Church turned the music off for like an hour afterwards because it was very powerful.
Church and state. State and church. Inside joke.
It feels like the church was on the back end, right? It feels like it should be state and church, not church and state. Sorry, Matt. Flip the art.
It was great. What else?
Do I need to bring it up? Do we have it on here or something?
I don't know if it's on there.
Alright, we're gonna go by memory. I know we have 3 records coming up from Ropeadope Store. I can't pronounce the names either justice by broken Spanish, but we will be rolling those out and announcing those. Todd Clouser always brings something really interesting from Mexico City, Central America, South America, so 3 great records. We have Leyeux, we've already talked about. We have Jesus on the Main Line dropping this Friday, very exciting record. And Adam Ben Ezra this Friday. Well, now we're rolling out, so July 21st, and this is, probably the first time this is announced on a major media outlet. Trevor Lawrence Jr. No, I'm not going to say that. No, I do. What you're talking about. Trevor Lawrence Jr. You just made me be small. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence Jr. Relationships, amazing record. Personnel, Chelsea Baratz, Maurice Brown, Nicholas Payton, Leanne Rhymes, Kamasi Washington, Terrace Martin, parentheses. Trevor is an amazing man. He's been writing with Dre for the longest time. That's a big record. We have another Christian Scott record coming out in June as well, and I'm not going to try to remember the rest in the last 30 seconds. Maybe we could list some of the upcoming records from Ropeadope down there in the credits. Thank y'all. Thank you. I like it over here by the plant.
Really?
I do.
Man.